Hello and welcome. This is Happy Catastrophe. I'm Candace, or Sister Min Bao, and these are my April 2023 coloring plans. I had not done a planning video before March, and I decided to try it. Actually, I didn't have a YouTube video before March, but I never had any plans before that either. I would just color whatever I felt like. But what I found was I was losing my focus. I would spend more time just thinking about coloring than coloring. When I got done with a page, I wasn't excited to go to the next one because I didn't know what the next one was, and I would have decision fatigue where I just couldn't make up my mind. So I did some plans, and I did do a March planning video, and you can find that in my channel. And this is really roughly what my goals were for March, because I still wasn't sure what I was doing. I wanted to do 10 total pages, and I did 14. I wanted to participate in 5 hashtags, and I'm not sure I got to 5. I did some buddy color groups and buddy colors. I added those in place of all of the hashtags, which I wasn't doing before. So that kind of took place of that. I did self-start a hashtag. That was the color the tarot, which I have a series on, where we've so far, as of the making of this, as of the beginning of April, we've done card 0, the Fool, and card 1, the Magician. So where we just go into detail over what those cards mean and meditatively look at some coloring options. So if you're interested in that, my Color the Tarot series, it's on the channel. Call for submissions, that was pretty much asking for folks to submit pictures so that I could post them, and that did happen with the Color the Tarot. And then I started the YouTube on March 6th. That was a goal. So I hit a lot of my goals in March. As for the books that I plan to color in, I did most of them, and I did not write them down at the time. I wasn't at that level yet, wasn't sure. I just sort of put it in a video and hoped I hit them. So for March, the wrap up, here's the wrap up, and I also destashed. I do not have a destashing goal, but I am trying to keep my books under 100. And so far, that is still happening at 98. And I launched my YouTube. So in April, I always have the 10 pages. I put books, but I meant pages. 10 pages goal. And I've been hitting that the last few months. I want to put up 5 videos on YouTube. I'd like to meet 2 new buddies. So as I'm going through these plans, if anybody, even if you've previously buddied with me before, I love buddy coloring. Just hit me up if there's a book you have. And I'm going to be destashing my AI books, and I'll be having a video on that soon. All right, so I actually wrote down now the books that I have in my plans to color in, ones that I am committed to, ones that I'm thinking I might do, and that's what we're going to go through today. So thank you for joining. Okay. The first one is a whip. You've seen it. You've seen it a couple times. I have 2 whips that need to get finished, and one that's a perpetual one that I just work on for practice. And this is the one I decided to narrow it down just to one that I will finish this month, and that's going to be this one. There's so little left to be done on it. You've seen it before. I need to do the paper wall back here. I need to do the light up there. But yes, this is going to be done this month. So that's my first plan. Okay. Now, moving on. In my quest of trying to find a color by number that I can enjoy, I have tried George Dufexis before, and I used alcohol markers. And again, I wasn't very good at it. I switched to acrylic markers, still didn't do a very good job. But then I saw someone that had done a a beautiful George Tufexis, and they said they used alcohol markers. So I picked one out of this book, which is a new book to me. I have 2 of his, and this one I hadn't touched yet. And I started it already at work the other day. And I'm using alcohol markers. But it is a little challenging because they bleed. As you can see, it's kind of fuzzy. I'm putting my glasses on so I can see. It's fuzzy. It looks pretty. It looks better on camera than it does in person, but it is kind of fuzzy, bleedy type. But I am enjoying this. I really am. And his numbers are so light that you can't. The alcohol markers are enough color to color them for the most part, except in the lightest of areas. So I'm really enjoying this. However, the alcohol markers are tricky, and if you guys use anything else, let me know, because I heard someone said that they use tau trees, but aren't those alcohol markers as well? Anyway, if you have any suggestions on how to do these color by numbers, let me know, because I'm really enjoying this actually. So I'm going to finish that. I started that in April already. Some of these I've already started because it is April 5th. I have a hashtag that I like to participate in every month, and that is Amanda Colors AC Palette Challenge, where she puts up a palette. And this month's palette is this. And for some reason, I like to do Matchstick Mouses to her palettes. I find them challenging because sometimes the palette, as in this month, does not have a good color for a mouse. So I did this last month. This was last month's palette that I did, her palette challenge for March. So for April, I did this, and I already finished it. So you're seeing a sneak peek, and you can see that the palette had 2 different blues, and then a golden yellow, and then I like a coppery brown. And then it also has variations of those colors, like in this slide. And so I relied a lot on the shaded variations to try to get more interest in this picture. But there still was nothing for the mouse. So I used the blue and the yellow sort of combined. I think I made her look like she's cold, like she's in an ice bath. But she's really not. She's having a good time. So that's a plan, and that's already finished. And I've actually posted that on Instagram. Okay. This month, in the buddy group or hashtag that I participate in, which is Sea of Colors, Color Along, also by Amanda Colors. We always do a picture out of Sea of Colors. And last month we did this one, this was March, which I had a blast. It was so fun. All Copic markers, basically, and Spectrum Noir. Those are the 2 alcohol markers I have. And then the one we're doing this month, and I have it bookmarked here, is this. So that's going to be April's picture. Isn't that cute? We're just going to have so much fun doing this, I think. I haven't got a color palette in mind yet, but looking at it, I have a few ideas. Anyway, this book is really fun. The images are fantastic. The paper is super thin, like ridiculously thin, but alcohol markers work great on it. And so do like metallic watercolors if you're very careful. Acrylics can work. You just have to be really careful with the wet mediums. Anywho, that's this one. All right. In a large buddy group color along that I'm involved with, Magic Dreamland, this book, we're all coloring out of this book, and every other month we do a picture. And this month, let's see, last month we did, that was March. In March we did this one, the Send You a Wishing Tree. And I used a lot of shiny stuff on this. This is eyeshadow, this background is. And there's a lot of acrylic. There's metallic acrylic. I think it's pretty much all acrylic and paint pens. That's the one I did. Now for this month, for April, we're doing this one, which to me looks like a a giant beet on a head, and it says Little Dream Eater. So whatever she's got on her head is eating her dreams. This paper is interesting in this book. It's a decent weight, but it's super smooth, and it's just strange. It's not all mediums work well on this, but we're all experimenting and finding different mediums that work on it. And I really see this as a beet, so that's probably how I'm going to make him out to be. Anyway, if you're interested in joining this, check out, I will post here who it is who the main contact for this group is. And you can contact them and join our little group. We have an Instagram messaging group, and we have a great time on there. Okay. So I usually do something out of Mythographic Cosmic Spirit every month, and it's usually one of the Zodiacs, because I participate in a Zodiac hashtag every month, and or the Tarot for my own color, the Tarot. And this month, I'm considering this one for Aries. This is a possibility. It's not a for sure. It's one of my extras. So this is the Aries one, and I do love this book, and I love Fabiana Attanasiou's art. I have so much of her stuff, and I think this is gorgeous. I think this will be a challenge with both the horn and the fur, because I see them as being lighter colored. So I think I'd like to try this. But the problem is I have a few of these that I want to do this month. I also have this one, The Magician. Now this one's higher up on my list than this version of Aries, because I just love this. And she's got rabbits. We're doing the Magician right now, or the most recent Color the Tarot. You can do the Color the Tarot series at your own pace. And the most recent video posted is the Magician. And that's where I am in the journeys on the Magician. And I just really relate to this woman who's manifesting things in her life to come true, which is what the Magician card symbolizes. So that's what our meditation is right now, is using our creativity and knowing that we have everything we need to bring into being what we want to bring into being. So I'm using this as part of my meditation has been focusing on my property and where I live, because now is almost the time to start planting, and I want to bring food into being with all the plantings. But this also has to do with creativity. So artwork, your coloring, your diamond paintings, anything. And I just love it. And I love the swirly stuff. It really matches her style, Fabiana Attanasiou's style, the flowers, everything just says spring to me. So this is very high up on my list. Okay. I was thinking there was something more in here I was thinking about, but no, that's it. Okay, last month, I did not do a single Kirby page, which is unheard of. I usually do at least one, and which is usually all I can do, because I don't color that fast. And it's usually my labor of love, because I always pick one labor of love, and this is going to be it in here. So I'm rectifying that. I usually do the hashtag that Ness puts out, that's Happiness Colors Kirby. She usually puts a hashtag out and a theme. And last month's theme for the Kirby page was water. And I was so excited about it because I love water. Coloring underwater scenes and water scenes is my favorite. However, I never got time to do it. With launching the YouTube videos, my channel was starting to color the tarot. I just never could get to it because the picture I wanted to do was so elaborate. And I couldn't think of any other picture. That's the one I wanted to do. So I missed it. So this month she's got Galaxy. Well, I don't know if anyone in America has received their pre-ordered Alien Worlds, but I have not. So I don't have that. And that's the one I would like to use for Galaxy. I've already done a Galaxy picture in another book of his for her hashtag medals, which was the month before. And so I just didn't really feel like coloring a Galaxy page. If I had the Alien Worlds, I would do that. I would color something out of there because I'm really excited about that book. So I decided to do this fun hashtag by this fun YouTuber and colorist because it's all about mushrooms. And right now, mushroom season is just getting started in Oregon. And the page I found, which is funny because it was a page she also recommended. And if you have time, go watch that video and I will link it down below because she goes into great detail. She goes through every Kirby book and pulls up every picture that has mushrooms in it. So her hashtag this month is mushrooms, and this is the one I wanted to do. I already had this chosen before I watched her video and saw her hashtag because of the rabbits, because it's Easter. And I'm trying to find alternative rabbit pictures for this month, not your typical cutesy rabbit, Easter rabbits. I wanted just rabbits. And this was definitely called to me. So this is going to be my labor of love. Gasp, everyone. I'm considering doing it all in pencil, which... what? But that's what it seems to call for. But all my mind can see when I look at this is brown rabbits and everything colored really naturally. And I kind of wanted to make it supernatural. So I'm hemming and hawing about the rabbits, and I'm thinking about making them shades of blue, actually, which just sort of came to me last night. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with this page. So this is going to be my labor of love this month. And that's in Imagimorphia, which this would be a new book to me too. I have not colored in this book yet. In March, one of my biggest desires was to use the month to color in as many new books as I could, and I ended up coloring in 6, which I was really excited about, out of 14 pages. So in this one, I have another buddy color with Coloring with Kate, and who I just loved a buddy color with. And we decided to do a cute Easter page. And this is the one we decided to do in Matchstick Mouse Springtime. It seemed like if I didn't do this month, I wasn't going to do it all year. So I wanted to pick one of the Easter ones. And there is a hashtag going out by Amanda Colors for Matchstick Mouse and Easter. So this will go for that. But it was more for me and Kate doing another buddy color, which we enjoy so much. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And this one definitely is going to be so Eastery. As you might have noticed, I'm not a pastel colorist, but I might, every now and then, I think I really need to break into do something pastel and see if it's fun. And it might be this picture. So that's Matchstick Mouse Springtime. Okay, so here's another one that's on the Yes, I Will Do list. And this is for the Zodiac. Every month I do the Zodiacs. And that's the let me pull it up. It's the Zodiac Color Along 2023. And this is Coloring with Kate. This is how Kate and I met, actually, was through this hashtag. And now she's my new friend. And I really like this one. I've only done one other picture in it, and that was for last month. That was the Pisces. I did Pisces during the Pisces, but now it's Aries. And what I do is I look through all my Zodiac pictures and find 1 or 2 that I like the most. And that's what I do in the month. And I liked the Aries one in this. And this book has, I like this book a lot, actually. This book will have it'll have something like this. It's kind of just symbols of Aries. And then it will have 2 pictures with people in them. And I chose, there's this one this month, and there's this one, which was just a little too gory for me. I don't know. I decided that I liked her a lot. And so I'm really looking forward to doing her. These pictures turned out really neat. I used just straight alcohol markers. So, yeah, so we'll see what she turns out. So she'll be my submission for Kate's wonderful hashtag. Okay. Then in tarot coloring for my hashtag, Color the Tarot, we have one video where we've done the the Fool, and that was this page, which I have seen a couple of you do. And if you have, would you post it or edit it with the hashtag color the tarot, because I'd love to add it to my next video, because this is a book not many color out of, and this is such a great picture of these barnacle geese. But and I haven't had time to get to this picture, but one of the two, I always do 2 every month of every card, and so one will be this one. And I'm hoping, I've already done one other and I'll show you, but I'm hoping that I'll also get to the one in the Mythographic. And these are butterflies. And because the magician is all about transformation, this is the ultimate transformer in nature, is the butterfly. So it's showing them in all stages. And the crystals I'm really excited about. So yeah. If you have this book and would like to color this, I will definitely show your picture. If you have any pictures of the Fool or the Magician, that's how far we've gotten so far, post them with the color, the tarot hashtag, because they will show up in the next video. I will showcase them. So yeah, anytime, and just go at your own pace. This is a fantastic book. I have a very long, in-depth review of this one on the channel, if you're interested in looking at all the pictures and listening to me go on and on about how awesome it is. Okay, talking about coloring the Magician, I did choose the Magician out of this one, and I've already done it. I got excited about it, so let me show you it. This was in the April plans. Now this was last month's, the Fool, that I did in watercolors, and really enjoyed it. I have a very hard time coloring in Lulu Mayo books. Her paper just fights with me continuously. But this is nice because it's essentially one-sided. So I can use alcohol markers, which I did a little bit on this one. See, it's one-sided, so as long as you don't mind, you know, messing up this page a little bit. But I only used paint in the other one, so it wasn't bad, although I did overpaint there. But I did this one. So this is finished. This was in the plans. This was done in, did it have alcohol markers? It had a little bit. But it was done in acrylic paint. I can feel it. An acrylic paint pen. And I think I even based some of the owl and the flowers with watercolor medium. So I think there was some water-based markers with maybe a little pencil over the top. And then I switched to acrylic paints because it was just the water. I was just not getting the vibrancy I wanted. And I love this book for its vibrancy. So yeah, this one has turned out really fun. This again shows the journey, and that you have all the tools to take the next step and bring into fruition anything you want. Yeah, so that one's done. So we can check that one off. Great. Okay, another one. I've decided that it was time for me, and I'm going to have to scroll out on this one, to get into this book. I have Legendary Worlds and Legendary Landscapes by the same publisher, where it was a labor of love for them. They gathered images from a variety of artists, and I enjoy this book very much. And if anybody wants to flip through, I'd be happy to do it. But I've never colored in it because they're a little daunting. This thing is huge. This is kind of a normal biggish size coloring book, and this is the square Kawaii Tarot one. So you can see how big this is. There's my hand. It's like 2 hands tall. This is a huge book. So it takes up a big space on my table when I work on it. And they're almost all double page spreads. So it was I'm going to bumping the camera. So these are the artists that are in it, and I chose to do the page with gnomes, which of course, because I'm a month late on Jamie's hashtag on with gnomes. But here's the double page. I've started it already. Aren't these gnomes fun? So this is the landscape that they're looking at, and they're painting it. That's great. They're all like plein air painting out in the, I just think they're awesome. So for spring, I'm really into spring right now, sort of trying to wish it to come into fruition. These were just watercolor, this is gouache. This is my Himi gouache set that I'm using here. This is a base. Some things like the flowers and such I'm very happy with, so I'll probably just keep them like that. The grass, of course, is just a base, and I'll be adding more colors to it and smoothing it out a bit. but I had to let it dry. This is not watercolor paper, so using watercolor, and it is crinkled a little bit, but when it's totally dry, I'll iron it out. When I'm totally done with it, I mean. But I just couldn't see using any other medium in this because of the big spaces. Like, who wants to pencil color this? And I can't alcohol color it, and it's too big. It'd be too streaky with watercolor, with water-based pens. So I decided gouache would work. And I'd just be really careful with the water. I went a little heavy here, and I have to work on that area. But I do like what's happening with it. So that's something I'm working on right now, and it will be finished in April. I have found that I like to have multiple whips going at once because I get bored with one picture, and if I just stick with one picture only, I may not finish it. So I found in order to straighten you back out, in order to minimize the amount of whips I have left over at the end of the month, I have to have many whips going on at once. Isn't that funny? Let me check my list now. It looks like I have everything. Yes, we've talked about everything that I'm for sure going to do. And now I want to look at a couple of maybes. One is this book. I love this book, but I've only done one picture in it, and that's this one. I did this many, many moons ago. This is alcohol markers. People always comment how realistic the corn looks. Part of that is that this is already grayscale, partially shaded, so some of the shading was in there. And part of that is I just happened upon the perfect combination of colors to make corn. And then I went crazy with the metallic gel pens. Because this Arena Vinnick, is that her name? Yes, Arena Vinnick. She is such a detailed artist, so much detail. But I had a lot of fun with this one. I did this last fall when I was in a fall mood. And now it's a spring mood, so look what I found. More unconventional bunnies. And yeah, I think I really want to get to this, but look at all the intricacies. But then again, there's a lot of shading already done for you. It's not really grayscale, it's more just like shaded in areas. And you know, gel pen works great on these little tiny things. And gel pen, I don't have any other pictures this month to use gel pens on, and I like using gel pens. So yeah, I think and the speed I'm going right now, where I've already completed a couple pictures and I'm halfway done with another, I think I'll get to this. I'm hoping. Depends on how long that Kirby one takes. And then I had two others, which are probably not going to happen, but they're on the hopeful list. One is this one. I have two of her books. The other one I've colored in quite a bit, but this one, not at all. For some reason, this one doesn't appeal to me as much as the other one I have. And I would say what the other one has. Oh, it's Fantasy of Fairy Tale Creatures or something like that. And that one, or Garden of Fairy Tale Creatures, I think. That one I love. This one's different. The paper's different. The images are a little different. And I haven't really gotten into it, but I did find the paper, it's soft feeling, it's strange feeling. It's about this, I think it might be a little bit thinner than the other book too. I do like them. I just think I'm going to have to resort to pencil because I just don't see this paper standing up to watercolor. But if you have this book and you've used watercolor paints, let me know, or gouache. But this is the one I was looking at simply because I think I can also use gel pens. I can go really light gouache base and then use gel pens for a lot of the details, or even just kind of washes with distress ink. So I think I could do this one. And then the actual focal points are small enough that I think I could use pencils on those and my hand won't hurt. I try to avoid pencils as much as possible, as much as I love the results, because it's slow and my hand hurts when it does that. But I think that's the one I'm thinking about, and that's because, again, Easter and the rabbits. That's a big maybe, but if I've got time, and again, if you've got any of these books I'm listing and you want a buddy with me, perfectamundo. And lastly, how many of you have this book? I never see anybody coloring in it. It's so strange. For one thing, it's very long. It's like 2.5 hands tall, but it's the same width, I think, as a regular book. Do I even have a regular book out here right now? No, it's bigger both ways. So I found this at craft warehouse or one of those just big box craft stores. And it's by Daisy Fletcher. And it's interesting because her art style, and she's definitely a real person. She has a bio in here. She has social media presence, but some of her art style looks like it's AI or something, or like she colored it in a different style and then photoshopped it in. And I'm not sure about this deer, but I know in other cases, I think that is what she's done, is she's used her artwork like a collage. And it's very strange because it's on this beautiful cream paper. So I probably, although it's kind of an isolated images with a lot of background, I probably wouldn't do anything in the background. The background is beautiful as it is with this cream, and the paper is really yummy. It's pretty thick. It's very soft. It's very smooth. I don't know what works in it yet. And I can do an in-depth flip through of this if you'd like. It's, if you've never seen it, it was not expensive. But so interesting and so strange. I've never seen a book quite like this. And like I say, with this really, really creamy background, I probably wouldn't do anything in the background. So that's why I'm sort of drawn to it as well, because they're kind of easy colorings. So see, this is obviously she drew this and she drew this, but it looks like they were photoshopped together. Interesting. I think she does she collages her artwork. It wasn't all drawn with the same pen and in the same, see what I mean? And I don't know if I've even chosen one out of here. I think I looked at a couple rabbit ones, but isn't that pretty? I did think about this one, but I just feel like I've had this for 6 months or so and I still haven't colored in it. See, look at this. That looks like a photoshopped, but it's hand-drawn rock, but it's totally different from the rest of this. Weird, huh? Weird. I love the way she draws rabbits, so I think that's why I was also drawn to this. Now, this is a nice one. I think that's why I was drawn to this. I'm also thinking about, for this month, I'm also thinking about doing something, not double page like this, because I have that big Kirby one. But this butterfly tree is also beautiful. But doing one of the smaller rabbit ones. Isn't this neat? So I don't know. Do any of you have this? And what have you used in it? Strange book. And if you've got it and want to bust into it, I think this is awesome. And there's actually, it's double page, but there's not that much to color on it. So maybe this one. Anyway, if you'd like to buddy color with me on a page, obviously I don't have anything chosen. So, yeah, let me know. See, look at this. I thought this was a picture of a lynx, but it's not. It's drawn. She drew this. It looks like it's painted, actually. So this was probably painted and photoshopped into line drawings of her flowers. But why? I'm interested to see what this looks like when it's colored. Because then it kind of goes into this picture, which none of that is painted like that. Interesting concepts. She is from Canada, I believe. Nope, she's from the UK, from East Sussex. And she's from the UK, and she takes her inspiration from surreal and sensual. An advocate of the hand-drawn line, she loves playing with scale and composition. So yeah, she's definitely not AI artist. So just an interesting book. So if you have this and you want to buddy color this month or a future month, because I may not even get to this month, but I would kind of like to, let me know. All right, that's it for my April plans. Thank you all for watching and being with me and along this journey. And I just love connecting with all of you. Take care.